He runs on Amico time. That's cool.
Welcome, brother. Welcome.
Yo, man, what's up?
All right. So, like I was
What's up,
saying,
guys?
what's up, Gary? Um, the big event at the Crayola. I want to know how you guys feel about it. Is this a good thing for Amico? Did they knock it out of the park? Do you think that there's going to be, some buzz generated due to this? Do you think it's a good strategy for them to hold these events going forward? What are your thoughts, Carl? Let's start with you.
Well, I mean, they were smart about it this time by getting people to advertise for them, like Saggy Melons, or as I like to call her, Undefeated of the East, since she did so well in skiing, apparently. So yeah, I think that was a really smart move on Tommy's part. Good job, man. You did a good job.
Yeah, I was. I did see that they'd actually put it on Twitter like 2 or 3 days beforehand. There was a little bit of advertising for it. So I mean that's something. We're getting progress here, boys. So do you think it's going to have a lasting effect? Are these kids going to remember the Amico and want to buy them, Carl?
Only through parental participation. I don't have kids, but that's my general opinion. You have kids. What do you think, Tony? I think that's the question. Or anyone else here has kids?
I'll throw my thoughts in at the end. I'm going to go ahead and kick it over to Show.
No problem, brother. I have no kids, so I have no comment on that. But looking at it, I took a couple of hours to watch some of the video play, and for the most part, I think it was a success. At the same time, however, I'm not sure if it moves the needle either way. I was taking look at a lot of the imagery and stuff that they had. They had like the little info cards on the table, and I think it was Mike Mullis's kid that held one up. And if you looked at it, it was an info card, but it didn't have like any release date. It didn't have anything that we didn't know already on the card itself. So it may have been for the parents that were there, but at the same time, this could have been a point where they could have said the new release date, or they could have confirmed or denied this current release date of October to be not happening or still happening. So it's still in the same spot as far as I'm concerned. But I think as far as who it's marketed towards, it may have been a bit of a success for them, because this is exactly what they should be marketing for. I know that there's a lot of fans that went there that are a lot older, but this was supposed to be marketed towards maybe slightly younger parents and their children that are coming up, maybe like 4 to 7. And it looked like they were really having fun. So I think it was a success for them. But for the people overall, like people like us, I don't think it was that much of a changer. So that's my opinion on it.
Yeah, I'm pretty much of the same mindset. I got a lot of the same thoughts as Show, but I'm going to go ahead and kick it over to Gary, Obsessive Compulsive Gamer. Give us your thoughts. Did you think it was a big victory? Was it a home run for the Amico team?
Oh, I've actually been. We just went up north. I haven't had time to check out the videos yet. I'm kind of dying to see exactly what they showed. You guys were talking about they were showing off skiing.
They did show off skiing, flying tigers, Astro Smash.
Yeah. I was listening to Saggy talk about it, and basically what she said was like she would not buy one, but she liked it. She's not the target demographic. And you can generally trust what she says. She's generally pretty honest.
Yeah, I listened to a little bit of that stream that she did. She said that while she did enjoy it, she didn't have kids to play the games with. She didn't really have, a lot of people that were going to be playing, because the games are, I guess, centered around that co-op, 2-player stuff. As far as Obsessive's question, I mean, there wasn't a lot. There was some gameplay footage, but it's not a lot. I mean, someone called the Memes of Destruction. I'm not familiar with the channel, but he has some Flying Tigers footage up on his channel. I haven't seen nothing from the main Intellivision channel go up yet. I'm sure either next week or sometime tomorrow we might see some footage from them specifically.
Hopefully so, brother. Hopefully so.
Now, as far as my thoughts on the event, I think, like Sho was saying, for the people there, they did look like they were having fun. I talked to some people who were there at the event. They said that, the games were fun to play. They didn't feel any lag. They didn't notice any lag. That the disc was a lot smoother. I guess it's like a D-pad, but better is how they described it. And that, a lot of your worries, a lot of our concerns, like you have to hold it. I guess, it's one of those things that you have to try it in order to really understand, what they're trying to do and how the controller functions. Now take that for what it is. Like I said, these are people that were there, people that experienced it. I unfortunately was not there.
Actually, there's one Saggy's friend did mention about the games, which is he did basically more or less talk about some of the games being mobile. What were the exact words? Did you?
So I caught the exact words for you, brother. Some of those games can actually use like a cell phone for an extra controller. And some of the games do come from mobile games. They're ports. But I think in that instance, it was to say that you could use your controller or your phone as another controller. Something like that.
I got the feeling like he's might have said, but I don't know. It's just my memory recall isn't that good sometimes. So I'm not going to say one thing or the other.
I'm just curious, did we have anybody that was critical actually go and test this system out, or was it more the same of the people who've been supporting it?
So that's one of my problems with it. It doesn't look like there was anybody that was overly critical that went there. There was a couple of people that were neutral, that they didn't think about it either way. But as far as people that are going to be critics, I don't think anyone was there, or at least they were there and they didn't say anything yet.
But I've mentioned that they had this plan for you for over a month. So, I mean, if people had were interested, had listened to me, they could have went over there for themselves when the event was unveiled.
Yeah, but I think a lot of it has to do with, just having people in the area. I don't know who is a critical Amico person that actually lives in Pennsylvania. I don't live anywhere near. Shows in New York. So, it isn't so much about, knowing in advance, more as it being in an area where someone could actually make it to the event.
I could probably have made it maybe if real life didn't get in the way and I cared to even go, but I meant every word. I'd rather just have the finished product, not a product that's still in development or in the stages of being ready to go gold.
I mean, it does seem seem kind of like a big trip to take for what was it, a 4-hour event?
Yeah,
a 4-hour tour.
So my bad. We were thinking two different things.
Yeah. So Luke Skywalker got the quote. Hopefully this is the quote, but he said 50% of the games look like they could be mobile. He said this laughingly. Saggy said something along the lines of he was being generous and saying just 50%. So I guess, it's more
it exactly. That's it exactly. Thank you.
Confirmed.
There it is. It's more of the same criticism that we had all along. The game quality, looks like mobile games. And like Sho was saying, Evel Knievel was a mobile game, so that makes sense. The Breakout demo, obviously that was on PC. We know that. Moon Patrol had a mobile demo. So, I mean, they're not high-quality games as far as AAA or even AA studios, but that was, what we already saw. We knew this going in.
I mean, if you think about it, if you take away the controllers, which is basically 140 total. You're basically talking about $100 system.
Yeah, I did hear Tommy say that you really need the controllers. He said the controllers are the key, and it would make no sense to sell a system with no controllers to use just the mobile phone. So he's pretty much confirmed that the mobile phone app is that your younger brother's controller. It's for guests that you don't like as much as other guests.
We giving him the third party controller
Yeah.
so he can lose.
Well, yeah, it seems like it.
But we do have it confirmed that the purple Galaxy controllers are $10 more, correct? So those are going to be $79.99, and the other controllers, just the standard controllers, are going to be $69.99.
Are going to be equal to Nintendo Switch controllers.
Now, speaking on the controllers, I just wanted to throw out some more information that I got from watching it. Apparently, the disc has 64 points of movement, and everyone that was there said that it felt better than a D-pad. So that remains to be seen, as I am a big controller person, and I know no controller person is gonna like just confirm that without trying it themselves. So
yeah, that's a mighty claim.
Sagi
mighty fucking claim.
Well, Sagi mentioned that you have to press the D-pad in hard.
Okay, so you have to depress it with like some
put
force.
A lot of pressure, or else you're going to get your characters are going to lag.
Okay. They also said it's very tactile, and that they said it's easy to pick up and play for kids. And personally, I feel that it just needs to be a video to show this off. In fact, I have no idea why they didn't do this on E3.
I didn't want to say this. Now, I'm just quoting from memory here. I'm not saying this is all fact. This is just my memory. Sagi did a live stream of all this today. So, y'all can get a personal impressions on her video. So
I would recommend checking that out if you are interested to hear more straight from someone who was there.
She's generally pretty honest. She is critical of the E3 video. Well, that's what I call it. So I think it's safe to say that she's fairly reliable, and as far as opinion, she'll tell you what she's thinking.
Now, do we know if we had a standalone working system, or was it hooked up to the dev kit computer?
No idea, man.
There were three. I don't want to say working systems or dev kits. I don't know what they were officially, but there were 3 units of some type at the event. I do know that.
Yeah, they had 3 of them. And
one of them is that red one that Tommy carries around with him.
Right, the GTO red, I think it is.
It's like the presidential football. It can even launch nukes.
Oh, I don't know nothing about that. But I will say something else, at least about the console. I think that's the reason why they may not have captured footage, like actually using a capture card. They don't want to show off the UI for whatever reason. Maybe it's not done. Maybe it's just something he wanted to leave out. But a lot of them specifically couldn't show imagery of the actual games being played. I know there's a lot of people out there making fun of them, taking like pictures off to the side and everything.
I actually did ask about that once when he was answering questions, because I was asking about accessibility features, and basically, if what I'm understanding to be right is they're using a carousel dashboard. Basically, like you choose, you have all your options in front of you. So you're basically picking. That's, if I'm right about that, at least.
Well, sounds interesting.
I do know because I did receive 2 DMCA takedown strikes from Intellivision. So I know that there is one loading screen that they are very, very protective of. It is something that we've nicknamed Lodi McLagface, but it is a robot. I'm going to describe it. Hopefully they don't strike me for describing it, but it is a robot made up of the console and the two controllers as arms, and it kind of floats across the screen. I know.
Oh, you mean that GIF? You for real?
Yes.
Or that GIF or whatever? Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. See, so Show seen it. That GIF was the reason why they had DMCA strike my stream. I guess they don't want to show it off. I guess that's one of the big reveals that they're going to do. I do know that Tommy has said in the past there's a reason why he calls it Amico and not the Amico. So maybe it's going to be something where you name the system, and that's kind of like your little helper guy or something. You know, there's something to it. There's something more than just, you know, just a little GIF. I do know that there were some people that had shared the GIF and they received DMCA takedown notices on Discord. So they are very, very protective of this. This is, you know, so that's probably why they didn't let anybody film the UI. And that's probably why that a lot of the footage from some of the people that were there, some of the people that played it the day before, that we didn't get a lot of actual gameplay footage because they might not have wanted to show off, like you said, you know, the UI, the loading screens, and some of the other little features that Tommy says is going to, you know, be revealed on big 10 million sub YouTube channels or whatever. Any other thoughts on the Crayola event, gentlemen?
As far as other thoughts, I mean, honestly, they could have really just. It leaves me with more questions than anything. Like, how could the E3 video be so bad if the console is in a state where they could show it off a little bit more? I just don't get how that all happened.
I mean, if it were me, I'd be planning for the E3 event ahead of time.
Right, and they could have used the same consoles that they brought to this Crayola event.
Yes.
You know, instead of using stock everything, stock imagery, stock
I mean,
footage,
that's just
stock
me.
video, all of it is just silly.
I'm not saying I'm Intellivision. That's just how I like to think I would have done it. So,
And you know, and that's where a lot of the criticism's coming from. If I understand you bring up a good point, Show, that, you know, maybe Tommy just doesn't want to show certain things by hooking up a capture device, but I still think those things could be edited out, and you could still, you know, put your best foot forward and show us something new. Now I have to go
You're
back
not
and watch this
wrong.
footage because I've been busy all day. But it does sound like, hey, they were showing, you know, at least skiing. We've seen a little bit of skiing here and there, but flying tigers, I'm really interested in actually seeing how that played out. But yeah, definitely, it sounds like from what you guys have been saying, it sounds like it was, you know, it was kind of a good showing for the Crayola, but I'll have to dig into it a little deeper until I can make up my mind.
Yeah, I would say make up your mind. Just take a look at them. I mean, for the most part, it's not like it can't be reviewed upon. You can only just look at everyone and just see, okay, that's their impressions. You know, that's the impressions of kids that have never seen a console before. Or that's
as far as the lag goes, there apparently isn't enough noticeable lag for anyone who plays casual games to actually matter. But if you're playing precision games on it, maybe it would matter more. I don't know.
Well, I mean, Tommy and Intellivision have had quite a bit of time to get this lag under control, and that to me was never really the big issue. I figured, you know, they would get that lag under control eventually. I think it's just been Tommy being, you know, kind of, I don't want to say deceptive because we don't know for a fact, but it just seems like that. It seems like when you keep things under, you know, lock and key, that it just comes across like that. And I think a lot of people for 2 years have just been craving more, you know, more of, you know,
I'm gonna just
games, whatever.
My impression is that he's doing this thing where he has an answer for everything. Maybe that's not the case. That just feels like it.
Okay, well, so let me just jump in real quick. Obsessive, let me because this lag issue, you know, everyone wants to know about it. There was a Nintendo Life article in which they said that they had experienced lag, but Tommy told them that it was due to a battery issue. Whether that's because the battery is not secure in the controller correctly.
Oh, come on.
Maybe the battery, you know, it wasn't charged. They're not charging. They're not holding a charge. maybe that's the part that they're missing. Maybe that's the reason why the batteries aren't functioning properly. But that would actually explain in one of the videos that Leo did. He says that it looks like the controller completely disconnects and the ship just floats around on its own in that rigid force. So if the battery had disabled, disconnected, or messed up in some way, that could explain all that. And this whole lag issue could, Tommy was saying there was no lag. I was getting from a couple of devs saying that there was no lag. The Amico fans saying no lag. It could have all been just a battery issue making the appearance of lag, and he just didn't want to say, hey guys, there's a battery issue, because then, anytime
if you would just said
there's a problem.
If you would just said there was a battery issue, I think people wouldn't have cared so much.
Carl,
some would have.
To be fair, I think there's a certain group that at this point, I don't think any answer is really gonna. It doesn't matter what Tommy says. I give him the benefit of the doubt, but the biggest thing is it's the fighting. It's like a lot of people have said that he just needs to go away. He needs to go away, let somebody else do the talking, and then they just need to work hard on the system. That's really all there is to it.
That stream, he was talking to Saggy, and I basically said something along the lines of, why are you, worrying and focusing on this? Why don't you just move on about the whole thing? Because, worrying about it doesn't matter as much. It's not healthy to obsess about stuff. And I come from a family of obsessive compulsives. So I'm kind of speaking from experience here. It's not healthy to worry about that kind of stuff.
Okay, so Saggy is in the chat.
Oh, hey, Saggy, what's up? I'm not trying to trash you.
All right, Carl. Saggy's in the chat. She's saying that the controller's lifespan is about 6 hours. Now, I would like to ask a follow-up on this, because is that 6 hours using it just with normal gameplay? Because I didn't see any motion control games. I didn't see any games that really took advantage of all the features. And I'm wondering, is the battery going to last 6 hours, of Bomb Squad, or is it going to be 6 hours of Flying Tigers and 4 hours of Bomb Squad? You know what I'm saying?
Right. And the point that Tony,
6 hours.
And the point that Tony makes is that you got to remember that these controllers have LEDs that flash on each side of the each corner, if I'm correct. And like he said, you got games that are going to use motion controls and all that. So 6 hours does seem like a good time, but is that with the LEDs popping off, and is that with there's rumble in it, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, rumble and motion controls. I would assume that's gonna affect the battery life.
It should have been a question that was asked by somebody that was thinking a little bit more critically, but if not, it just remains to be seen. It would have to be someone actually running that test or asking Tommy that question.
Oh yeah, can someone?
Yeah, but
Saggy
6 hours
posted
is
a
not
new
bad.
comment. Yeah, compulsive. Yeah, yes, she's basically saying agreeing with OC.
And the other question I have to ask is, does Saggy know how far the controllers can be from the console?
Yeah, what is the range? That is a good question.
Question.
Let's see.
So if Saggy knows how far, what the range is on the controllers, that could also be a reason why the the functionality was messing up in some of the videos.
That could be, yeah. I don't think about it, but like anyone who's ever had a Nintendo Wii U, that gamepad had a ridiculously short range.
Yeah, that's what I've heard.
So yeah,
it's unfortunate.
Saggy saying standard Bluetooth. Someone said 3 feet. I'm not taking this as gospel. This is, I'm guessing, just something she heard. She's not 100% sure. So if it's more than 3 feet or less than 3 feet, don't jump on Saggy. She's just relaying information as she knows it.
Yeah, it's just Saggy just telling you what she knows. It's something. If something turns out incorrect for some reason, not her fault.
So do you think this is going to have a lasting impact? I know I checked on Twitter before the stream and basically no one, there was no mention of Intellivision Amico on Twitter. There was no mention of Crayola and Amico, just using those two words together. There was something, some stuff from Saggy, from Retro Bro, the guys that were there, but as far as like third party, outside people, just a regular mom that happened to be at the event, there was no tweets from any of them, nothing on Instagram.
I mean, personally, I think that this was, it wasn't geared towards any of the upper, journalists. I think definitely it was more of like a kind of more testing in the demographics. I think you go to the Crayola, what is it, the Crayola factory? You go there because you're going to get kids to come in, and you're going to get those mothers that he was marketing. So I think that was a good push to see, if he's going to sell to kids that are, 4 to 8, maybe 4 to 10. Otherwise, I see those kids, like I said multiple times, my kids play a lot of craft and in Roblox, so it's going to be hard to get those who are invested into something like the Amico. But I do think kids around 4, 5, 6, 7, I think those are what you're targeting when you go to somewhere like the Crayola factory. So that's at least my take on it.
I agree that is the target demo he's going after. That's what he said. But what I'm saying is, tomorrow, are the kids going to be talking about Amico? Or are they going to, have forgotten about it? Kids have short attention spans.
They're going to forget about it, brother. They're going to forget about it.
I think they were excited.
When it's ready, it's ready. You know what I mean? They'll be excited when they get it. But at the same time, as far as visibility, it was next to zero. I didn't see anybody talking about it on Twitter. I didn't see, aside from like, the Reddit that's for Amico, Atari Age.
I mean, whenever I played,
nobody else was talking about it.
When I played,
and Joe's correct. Go ahead, Carl.
Well, I'm just saying, when I was a kid, whenever I got to play stuff like that, I never forgot about it.
But I think what Joe's trying to say is that this is a good thing that, it's due out in October. I think Tommy really needs to either announce a delay or ramp up on their marketing. He says he hasn't started marketing, but we all kind of, it's you splitting hairs,
Right. That's kind of ridiculous. You haven't started.
Yeah. Right. I personally think you're marketing because you're out there, right? You're posting videos and you're talking to YouTubers. That is a form of marketing, whether it might not be their grand scheme, their overall grand scheme of marketing is, like I said, splitting hairs. So he really needs to either delay this or really start ramping up, because I think a lot of the guys who are invested into this and who do have systems that are pre-ordered, he can't afford another delay. And if he does delay this, he really needs, and I don't want to say an excuse, but he needs a good reason why he's delaying this. Regardless if he does or not, he needs to explain to these people who have backed this from day one for 2.5 years now, they need a good reason to stick with this at this point.
So I may have an answer for that. I'm not sure if it's the right answer, but in talking to Kevtris, he was mentioning to me on how they don't have any of the compliance testing done, which may have something to say for why the controller has Bluetooth issues and radio issues. So that may be part of the reason.
I know, maybe Saggy can clear this up. I could have swore he did say they were done with compliance on that interview. Or maybe I'm wrong, but I could have swore I heard that. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe she can chime in.
I know on the Atari Age forum, he said the typical, wouldn't it be something, what if I told you we were finished with compliance? But he didn't actually say we are finished with compliance. He just said, wouldn't it be something? Now, if you go on the FCC website and you look up Intellivision, you put the company in, nothing comes up as far as yesterday. I didn't check it today, but I did check it yesterday. Nothing came up. Now, they could be using a shell company to do the compliance testing. I know Microsoft does that. Sometimes Nintendo or Sony, if they're coming out with a secret project, they're trying to keep hidden from the public. I don't see why Intellivision would do it, but it is a possibility. I'm not going to say that that's not possible, but as far as Intellivision itself, nothing came up when I checked.
Okay. And then I think I've always told you guys about the entire well, the trademark angle is what I'm going to use. If you look up the Intellivision Amico trademark details, it has not been passed either. It's actually got a third extension while
Wow.
other things is going on. So it has not even passed the trademark. I'm not sure if they're allowing it to extend while they work on compliance, because you can extend the trademark for filing 5 times. And I think each time is like 6 months. And they're on their third extension. So they got 2 more that they can do. But if everything was done, you would think you would just kick this trademark into high gear and push that through. So that's not a big deal anymore. I know a lot of people
I
aren't
agree.
talking about trademarks, but this is one of the reasons why certain companies can't get stuff done either. We could also use like Polymega. I'm not sure if you guys know about Polymega, but they actually had kicked their trademarks over about 2 or 3 times too. And then they allowed the trademark to go abandoned. And to this day, after 6 years, we still haven't seen the Polymega out at all. So it's probably a different story for the Amico, but it's really interesting that they just haven't like resolved this issue at all.
Saggy's saying that Tommy said that the trademark was settled. Like Show is saying, it's not showing settled on the
Well, that's what Tommy said, Saggies. I mean, I'm
website.
looking right here on the website where you can look it up because this is public information. So
Put
it's
that
not
link up in
something
the
that.
chat, Joe.
Oh, I can put the link up real quick. But yeah, this type of thing is public information, so you can't really lie about it. You know, the reason why trademarks are passed is so that some people can't dispute the trademark. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So it has to be published publicly. And aside from that, is a couple of other interesting things that are here as well. They actually have another trademark known as the Intellivision Prism. I don't think anyone knows that this trademark exists under Intellivision Entertainment. And it looks like it's actually been held up for what's known as suspension. So while it's suspended, it's actually here while they're resolving other trademarks. If you were to dig a bit deeper, this is like an entirely different story. But I do believe they've been having a bit of contention with another company known as Amiga. So they may be fighting over the name Amico, but whenever it resolves, they can at least use Amico as a word. That may be it. I don't know. But all I know is that it's something that's published publicly, and you can't necessarily lie about it and tell people that it's been resolved when it hasn't, because they will say it.
I don't blame you for taking the word of Tommy. I mean, he's
Yeah,
your
take
friend,
the
right?
word of Tommy,
You know,
but
There's nothing to be sorry about.
There's nothing to be sorry about.
It's you don't have to explain it. You know, he's your friend. That's
Right.
what
And you
friends
just
do.
but you do got to understand, like, at least my side of it and other people who have been critical, when we see certain things that have just kind of haven't added up, we do question it a little bit. It's, I don't want to call Tommy a liar. That's why I'm very careful with what I say, because I don't want to outright call Tommy a liar, but I do have my doubts. That's all.
So
I mean, and if it gets resolved, it gets resolved too. So it's not the biggest deal.
Yeah, it's not a big deal, but here's the thing. Yeah, because we want to have all the facts, all the correct information out there. Amiga is not disputing the trademark. The company that owns Amiga, Cloanto, they're disputing the trademark because they're claiming that they're going to come out with their own mini console of Amiga games, and because Amiga, what was that?
Not me.
Because Coin, yeah, I think it was Obsessive. We lost him, but Cloanto is saying that they're going to have a mini come out, and because Amiga and Amico both translate to friend, their dispute is that there's going to be a confusion in the marketplace between the two products when they go into foreign markets outside of the U.S.
I doubt that, but okay, I guess.
I mean, that's the claim. I mean, that's how the dispute is. That's how the trademark's being disputed. Whether or not it holds up, whether or not, Tommy might be saying it's settled because he knows that, they're eventually going to win it because, they really, Cloanto really doesn't have any standing. But like Show said, it's not up on the website. Who knows? Maybe Tommy settled it 2 days ago. They just, filing paperwork, and by Monday it's going to be up that it's settled. That's a possibility. That's always a possibility.
That's
but
very
as far
true.
as right now, it's not on the website. According to public information, it's not settled. And that's all
Right.
we could really say
And
about the issue.
and I'll give Tommy the benefit of the doubt. I'll give him the benefit of the doubt.
And if Show could just go ahead and throw that link up in the public chat.
Oh yeah, I'll drop it in there again for you.
Because I didn't see it pop up the first time. Maybe they're blocking you because.
Oh, maybe it's blocking. Yeah, it doesn't show that you can click it. I can send it to you if you want in Discord.
Yeah, send it to me real quick. I'll put it up.
There you go.
So,
Don't worry, guys.
what's next?
I'm going to put this link up real quick, and then we're going to jump to the next topic.
Okay.
But any final thoughts before we move on about the Amico? Hopefully, you guys can see the trademark.
Nothing relevant on my part.
Like I said, I don't
Nope,
see any. Go ahead, Obsessive.
No, I was just going to say, nope, just waiting on either a little bit more information or whether it's going to get delayed or not. That's really kind of the biggest I'm looking at right now is, not just for my sake, but, everybody who's, like I said before, invested into this. I just want to see them get their product and, I want to see the Amico come out in timely fashion. So I'm really rooting for people who put their money into this because I do want to see you guys review it. I'm excited to maybe get my hands on it in the future. So
I would actually love to check it out as well. I would see what it, give it a shot.
Me
and see what
too.
it's all about. Yeah. But as far if they didn't say anything about the release date, and you should be manufacturing PCBs right now, populating the PCBs and stuff. That stuff takes time. So if they're starting right now, you can look at it being like December at the latest, or at the earliest.
Maybe a soft launch, like
a soft launch.
Yep.
Yeah, but if it's not landing by December, January, I can tell you right now, they ain't making nothing in January. So if it doesn't land in December, I say don't see this until like April at best. April, May of next year.
Yeah, I'm going to have to agree with
Possible.
Show. I think maybe April of next year, if they didn't have any firm dates on the cards they were handing out at the Crayola factory, Crayola Experience, whatever it's called, I don't think that they're planning on it coming out this year. I don't see them coming out at Christmas because it is very expensive, to market it, TV
Yes,
commercials,
sir.
whatever it is. I mean, that was one of the reasons why he pushed it to April last time there was a delay. So we might see it back in April next year. Tentative date.
It would be kind of funny if one of the YouTubers' kids said something out of place and they got grounded for it.
Nah, hopefully nothing like that
Hopefully
happened.
not.
Hopefully it's all good. So we're gonna go ahead and just move on off to the next topic here. But before we do that, we do have a sponsor here on the channel. I have sold out. I am easy to be bought. So any other sponsors listening, let me know.